Hats off to Louisiana. They've been playing incredible as of late. I think that's 3 straight wins, and that's hard to do when you start the season the way that they did. And so credit them, and Quantas doing a great job with his group. They're playing with a ton of confidence, and no excuses at all. We were down some guys, but I thought we fought. We did a pretty good job. But our margin is incredibly thin, with or without a full deck of players. And when you don't make all of the toughness plays that are available within a game, and you second guess, and those aren't your instinct to make them, your margin's just too thin, and you'll fall on the wrong side of it. And that's what happened here tonight against a Louisiana team that's playing well, but the numbers would tell you they're a bottom 5 rebounding team in the nation, and they came in here and bullied us on the glass and got 14 offensive rebounds, ultimately enough to win the game. So that's where my disappointment is, more than anything with our guys. But I thought once we executed the game plan that we had worked on for 3 days, especially on the offensive side of the ball, I thought they did a great job, and made a lot of toughness plays. Just didn't quite make the ones that we needed down the stretch consistently to pull this one out.
To talk about the rebounding, I think 5 of their 14 offensive rebounds came in the last 3 minutes or so, including the one that led to the game winner. Obviously, you labeled a toughness play. Were the guys not being tough at that point in the game? Was it maybe like a lack of focus? Maybe you get caught watching at times, things like that, or what was going on kind of late in the game?
Yeah, I think that's what it was, right? I thought our first shot defense was terrific. We did a really nice job, switching between our different ball screen coverages. Our communication, our positioning was great, and we forced a lot of tough contested shots, and we watched them go get it. And so that's frustrating, right? Where does that come from? We talk about toughness. That's certainly an area of it. But I think sometimes, we get the confidence piece flipped. Everybody will say, where's our confidence down because we miss so many free throws? Well, that's part of it, but the only way that you get your confidence back is you go make those all those available plays like the ones that you just mentioned that we did not do down the stretch that ultimately became our demise. Then it'll flip. Then you'll start making shots and you'll start making free throws, but you can't have it in reverse.
And, you were in here on Monday talking a little bit about how when the game maybe gets a little bit ugly or something different's thrown at you defensively or something, and you want to have that, best player on the court to just go get you a bucket. And you obviously haven't had Justin the last few games. I guess, do you expect to get him back here pretty soon? I know he warmed up, but just how big of a difference does he make maybe in a game like this where you went, I think, 9 minutes without a field goal at one point?
Yeah, it makes a big difference, right? Because he's a guy that can go get a basket. He's a guy that I think every team that we played in this league has to really scheme for, because he can hurt you in so many ways, whether it's his inside presence, his driving the ball, his ability to shoot. And so, yeah, it changes things when you don't have that guy that can just go get you a basket. You put yourself in a position where you have to play almost a perfect game. But even with that, there's no excuses. There's zero excuses. We'd love to have him back, and I'm sure that we will. Thought he was going to be back here today. That just fell short right before we started the game. But hopefully that'll change in the next 48 hours as we get ready for the next one.
Jose has stepped into an expanded role over the past few games, especially tonight with the season high, playing almost 20 more minutes than his average. What have you seen in terms of his development throughout the season in the past few games?
I think you got to understand, Kosei wasn't here in the summer. Like, we called him up late, said, hey, we could really use another guard. And he checked every box when we started calling around. I mean, people just told us unbelievable stories about his toughness and his humility, and he has delivered on that. And it's a hard thing to sit over there and not get to play and show up every day. But he's an unbelievable teammate. I mean, dude was on the scout team right after Christmas, and then we had to flip him over, and then he'd not be on the scout team, and now he's starting for us. So I got so much respect for a guy like Kosei, because he doesn't have all the stars, the accolades, and all the stuff that guys chase after right now, but he's got all the toughness and winning mentality that you need. He's a yes sir, no sir guy, and that's going to serve him well, like it is for our team right now, and it's going to serve him well in his life way beyond basketball. But yeah, I trust him to go out there and make the plays that we need to. It's not always about talent, but I like the edge that he brings and the humility that he brings, and I think that's contagious amongst our team. And I'm thankful that he's really kind of had this rise, over the last month and a half.
I know this is a frustrating one, and I know when the guys were in here, you could see the disappointment too. Just what was kind of your message to them, to the guys, just after the game, kind of moving forward and moving on from this?
Yeah, look, hey, it should hurt. It hurts me. I hate losing. I hate losing at home. But I really don't. I just don't sit well with me when you lose like that, right? And so when there's just, I keep saying toughness plays, and when there's offensive rebounds to go get, when there's defensive rebounds to go finish and reward your first shot defense, when we do the hard part of the possession that we work on correctly and we just fail to do it, those are the tough ones, and it's got to sit with us. So I told him, I say, look, got no excuses. I didn't even talk about J-Mac being out. Didn't even talk about Ike being out. Those are non-factors. That's not why we lost. And so, even the free throw shooting, it's part of it. We got to get better. It's hard to win a game like that. But, you could shoot 100% from the free throw line. If you don't finish possessions better than what we did down the stretch, you don't deserve to win the game. And that was the message to the guys.
You don't have too many options when there's 0.3 seconds to go, and you got the ball as deep as you do. What would you like to see happen in that scenario that's ideal for you?
With 0.3,
can you do anything?
You can't when you're down 3. Because they're not going to allow you to have any type of catch like we did with P. Fowler. It has to be a tip in. I don't know that anybody can tip a 3 in. But, it's frustrating that we didn't execute our full court play, which we've done. And it's not even just the guy getting a deflection. That's a nice play by him. We had guys literally run to the wrong side of the court right out of a timeout, which is frustrating. So had we completed the pass, I don't think we would have got the shot that we wanted. But, again, we put ourselves in that situation on an offensive rebound 50-50, and it came down to a scramble. And we didn't declare the basketball and gave up an open shot. Didn't deserve to win that, so. Yeah, it's just constant reminders, right? We're constantly reminding the guys, what ball screen coverage we're in, okay, what post blitz coverage we're in, what are we trying to get accomplished offensively, constantly giving them a reminder of, what we're wanting to attack their ball screen coverage with, and whatever that may be. So, it's lose yourself in the details, right? We're never talking about the score. We're never talking about how many we're down, how many we're up. It's literally diving in and fighting for each one of those possessions and the details within it. And so I thought, this group's gaining on it, right? We've been in a lot of close games. We haven't come out on the right side of as many of them as we'd like. And as you look back, it's not the last possession, the last 2 possessions. It's a course of 40 minutes. We had a ball screen coverage that it'd be hard for us to go over it more than what we did, and gave up a dunk in the first half. And then the next time they ran it, we generated a steal and went down and shot a layup and got an and one. So we know how to do it. We're capable of doing it. We got to consistently do it when the opportunity presents itself.